Welcome back. Still here chatting to Andrew Lloyd. 4 more questions, if that's okay with you, Andrew.
Yep, fire away, Ben.
Okay, let's go for it. Question 5. Where do you see your career ending on the radio in the future? Where's your end game? Where's your main target to?
I don't really have an end game, to be honest, because, I don't want to run a radio station myself. That's far too stressful. And I'm just happy being on the air. As long as people will listen and I continue to enjoy doing it, I just want to stay on air for as long as I can. Being on air in a radio station is not a right; it's a privilege. And I've been privileged to do it for a long time, and I just hope I can continue to do it for as long as possible.
Yeah, and also it's brilliant that you're still getting on with radio, because people like yourself, Nicky Horn, Graham Dean, David Lloyd, and all them are doing well. I have a lot of respect for what they do at Boom. It's an independent station showing that the oldies of radio have still got it to compete with the young uns.
The thing is, as you well know, Ben, you'll know this yourself. Once you're a radio man or woman, for that case, you're addicted to it, and it's something you can't get out of your system. And if you have that, then I think you'll always want to be on the air.
Yeah, and respect to what you're doing. What is your shows all about then? Your shows that you do on your stations that you work on?
Well, again, to be honest, I do what I'm told. I think on Black Cat, which is the station that goes out in St Neots in Cambridgeshire, there's a lunchtime show. There's drive time, which is the standard drive time show is reasonably fast paced with music and traffic and travel information and stuff like that. And then here in Cyprus, in Paphos, I've been covering the breakfast show, and I do a weekly Sunday program as well, which is basically just music and chat. It's a very sort of easy listening, laid back program.
Brilliant. Question 6. What song reminds you of our lovely wireless, the radio?
Well, there's one that I actually think this should be made into a film, and it's WOLD by Harry Chapin, which is the story of the radio broadcaster in the States. And he gets into radio when he's young. He gets married. His marriage doesn't work. It falls apart. And then he does the usual thing that most radio presenters does, and he trips around the country from station to station, from town to town. And quite a lot of the time, his shows are going down. You start off in the middle of the night. You work your way up to breakfast. And then slowly from breakfast, you slowly work your way down through the day until you end up at the weekend again. And it's a fantastic song.
Brilliant. Question 7 now. How do you think radio is adapting in the current climate?
I think actually what's happened is I think COVID has changed radio. COVID and technology. Technology has made such a huge difference. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. If you wanted to do an outside broadcast, it would take days of planning, several engineers, and a huge effort to do it. Whereas now, really, you can do it with a laptop and a microphone. And technology, again, has enabled web TV, which is where across the web you can VT your links. And that's revolutionized the way programs are made. And you're talking about Boom. I mean, Boom uses that extensively. So lots of us now who are presenting programs never go into a studio at all. And in fact, we present our programs from home, as I am doing now with you. And in some cases, those programs are from presenters who are dotted all around the world. I think COVID has accelerated that. I think it speeded that process up. But it's technology that's really made the change.
Brilliant. And my last question on the list is, what advice would you give to young aspiring broadcasters who are starting out at the bottom of the broadcast ladder?
That's a tricky one, actually, because it's such a large landscape now. When I started, as I said, there were only 19 commercial stations and a fairly similar number of BBC ones. Now there appear to be new stations launching every single day, and quantity doesn't usually bring quality, I'm afraid. So I guess it's, back to basics. Be yourself. And that is probably the most difficult thing to do. Well, it was certainly the most difficult thing that I found, to try and be myself on the air and find my own voice. That is difficult. Remember that radio is always a one-to-one medium. You're always speaking to one person at a time. And treat your audience with respect. Give them what they want and not what you think they should have. And always remember that they don't have to listen to you. If you can get involved with a good community radio station, then I think that's a great way to start and to learn your career.
Brilliant. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me today, Andrew.
It's been a pleasure, Ben. Thank you very much.
And to you guys too, more content coming soon, so stay tuned to my website and my YouTube channel, and maybe this may end up as a radio show on your local station. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much to my guest, Andrew Lloyd Ellians, and to you guys for joining too. And now it's time to say my famous line, that's a wrap, and back to the studio.